All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, we are back with more Final Fantasy XIV. Indeed. Got my, I decided not to make coffee like in the video reel that I recorded today. Mostly because I'm underslept and I actually want to fall asleep tonight at a proper time, at a reasonable time, and I had a hard time falling asleep yesterday. I don't know why. I just could not fall asleep until 11:30 in the or 10:30 at night, and I wake up at 4 in the morning to work where I have to work. So we're gonna chill. We're not gonna be hopped up on caffeine, and we're gonna save my vocal cords at the same time. But in any case, we are back. Looks like there's a lot of Garlean towers at sight. Watch out for. You gotta be careful about those Garlean towers. All right. I don't remember what the command is. Hide my user interface. Don't remember how to do that. I keep thinking it's Alt Z like in World of Warcraft. But that's not the case. Okay, let's read the quest info. Futures rewritten. Just as you are about to return to the Rising Stones, a breathless Maelstrom officer rushes up and begs the Admiral to follow him. He duly leads you to the cliffs opposite the floating city of Nim, where you espy a strange tower which, he claims, was not there when he began his daily patrol. But it is only when the Admiral subsequently receives a link pearl communication from Maelstrom headquarters that the scale of the problem becomes clear. It seems that many more such structures, apparently of Garlean design, have materialized across the realm. Anticipating trouble, Merlwyb bids you join the Alliance forces on the Eastern Front. And you set forth for the Alamegan Quarter to offer Commander Hext your support.
Thank you for coming so soon. I'll send for Commander Aldin at once, and we can decide what to do about these infernal towers.
Rocket presents! It can't be.
The palace! After them!
You're here. Good. Well, well, well! To be received by such an illustrious cast! Why, even the hero of the piece is here! I feel quite starstruck. Is that Asahi?
His body, more like. You don't fool us.
Oh! You saw straight through it! Anyone would think you dealt with Asians before. Permit me to introduce myself. I am Fandango, and may I say what a pleasure it is to finally make your acquaintance. My, straight to business is it? Suit yourself. It is my intention to recreate the final days. To which end I have distributed a collection of rather ingenious devices, or towers, which will, in time, give rise to the grandest of spectacles.
The final days? But it was the Asians who labored to prevent them.
You're quite right, though I would expect no less from one responsible for eliminating my unsundered colleagues. Honestly, the three of them were obsessed with restoring the one true world. As a sovereign individual, however, I never had much interest in such things. I mean, why bother when you're just another sundered minion? Admittedly, Elidibus was not convinced by that argument, but thanks to you, I'm finally free of his incessant nagging. Free to use my powers as I see fit, to fulfill my heart's desire. And my heart's desire is to lay this half-broken world to waste, leaving nary a fleck of dust behind!
What? Why would you want such a thing?
Because I want wretched creatures who ask such meaningless questions to die! You! And you! And you! I want you all to die! And I want to die too! Oh, yes! I want to die and take everyone with me in a paroxysm of pain and suffering! I'm different, you see, from the ancients who clung to dear life, and from you. So don't bother trying to reason with me. You will find I have no reason, or creed, or any such tripe. I just want to destroy the world. But please do resist with all your might. It will add to my enjoyment.
Also, I just want to say, the name Fan Daniel is such a weak name for a villain. Hey, it's my boy Fan Daniel. Yo, Fan Daniel. How you doing, my man?
Now then, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes peeled, for the curtains have risen on the spectacle to end all spectacles. We, the Telophoroi, shall be your performers, and this very star our stage.
Great. Awesome. Oh my god. Kind of looks really hilarious. My frog character gets blown away like that. That reminds me of the NASA meme, the recent Twitter thing with the rocket launch.
But I nearly forgot. I have a message for you. My esteemed patron, Lord Xenos, eagerly awaits you at the heart of the chaos. While I wish only to destroy the world, he exists solely to relive a certain, transcendent moment with you. And it is for that reason he would reduce all to ash. Pray see to it his dreams do not go unfulfilled. For if you should disappoint him, my trusty companion here, whom I've dubbed Lunar Bahamut, will burn your cities and everyone in them.
Everyone out! My men will tend to the blaze.
I mean, he kind of he does look like he'd be, you know, as old as a K-pop idol, yeah. And like, a lot of the characters in this game do fit the K-pop idol look, kind of, sort of. Especially my main character, I mean, like, I want to see a humanoid frog performing on Inkigayo. Fighting. Yes. All right.
Thank goodness everyone's safe. We've managed to put out the fire, though not quickly enough to save the garden. Roban, can I leave it to you to send word to the Alliance? I'm going to take a unit and investigate the tower. We need to find out what it's for. We'll go with you.
No, you won't. You'll rest. From what Merlwyn tells me, you will do some time off duty. Should we learn anything about the tower, we'll be sure to share it with you. Until then, I want you to rest.
Very well, but if you need our help, don't hesitate, and take care. Both of you. Ta-da! Ribbit.
Right. Speak with Kryl at the Rising Stones. Yeah, I love giving voices to the unvoice acted dialogue, so we're gonna be doing a lot of that as we take a much needed break from Overwatch 2. So buckle up. This is Final Weeaboo 14, one of the best MMOs of all time. All right, so we're supposed to go in here. Yeah.
Ah, you're back too? Good. We've received the reports from the Alliance. Since we're all here, perhaps those who bore witness to the events in Alamigo could treat the rest of us to a first-hand account.
Okay.
No sooner do we overcome one problem than another appears. It would all seem tediously predictable but for the endless variety of our foes. This Fan Daniel sounds even more unhinged than his patron. Unhinged, perhaps, but no fool. For all his pantomime theatrics, he gave away little about his plot. We know only that he intends to recreate the final days, and that the towers will somehow facilitate this. He also called his dragon Lunar Bahamut. Let's not forget that little detail.
Ribbit.
And the creature did resemble the descriptions I've seen of the Elder Primal. That may be, but the fact that it answered to Fan Daniel would suggest they are not one and the same entity. I think it more probable that it is some manner of simulacrum, born of Asian magics. Whatever it is, for now we can... Whatever it... Yeah! I gotta nail that English, that British. Whatever it is, for now we can only but work closely with the Alliance and remain vigilant. I believe that concludes our news. What of yours, Ashtola? I have been to see the Sultana. Knowing how quick the immortal flames are to dispose of their tempered, I judged it best to provide them with the cure first. As soon as I had sufficiently recovered, I travelled to Uldar and delivered the porksies to her grace, along with detailed instructions on their use. Why, hello there, Geekonomicon. Tuning in at the perfect time for the Ashtola voice acting, are we? And Dango Brat, welcome back to the #1 shitcan broadcast on Twitch. Thank you for tuning in. Yet my visit chanced to coincide with the arrival of some troubling tidings. The immortal flames had been on the cusp of agreeing to a truce with the Amal Jar when negotiations abruptly collapsed. The Amal Jar claim that a number of their kind have been abducted, and that men are responsible. Naught is known of the perpetrators as yet, but as the immortal flames went about investigating the abductions, they came upon one of Fandaniel's towers. That fuckboy Fandaniel. Damn it. On the subject of the towers, you may be interested to learn that they are not an exclusively Eorzean phenomenon. According to the Alliance, they have been sighted as far afield as Yangtze. Then it would seem reasonable to assume that they are everywhere. We simply have not found them. Well, as you said yourself, we can do little for now save remain vigilant. And since we are dealing with a dragon, ostensibly at least, I believe it would behoove us to enlist the aid of an authority on such foes. Estinian! Estinian? Now, just a moment. If he could be persuaded to lend us his lance, I would be the first to welcome it. But the truth is, we will struggle even to find him. You let me and Kryl worry about that. We'll sniff him out, no matter where he's hiding. If indeed he is hiding, we have ways of locating him regardless. So, if there are no objections, we shall depart at once. Ta-ta. Shimon. Oh, God. Froge watches them leave. Well, rather than sitting around, I think I might go to each of the city-states and educate them in the use of porksies. They would doubtless appreciate it, but might you consider taking a moment to rest before leaving? You'll be fresher for the tasks ahead. Excuse me, fuckboy, did you say I'd be cleaner if I were to sleep? Are you calling me dirty? Well, my friend, our moment of triumph did not last long. Oh dear, are you not enjoying our adventure? Oh, come now, I didn't say that. While it may not be the most carefree experience, there is nothing in this world I would rather do than write a new future with you. A long future, mind, whatever the Telephoroi might hope. We'll stop them, won't we? Together. Oh, my Lanta. Mama Rage. Ha! 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 Mama Rage, thank you so much for the raid. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, please give it up to Mama Rage. She's all the rage of the Twitch town. Thank you for bringing over your lovely community, aka Dragon Slayer, Welcome to the stream. Oh my god! What? Did I not switch my screen the entire time and nobody told me? Oh my god. Alright. El negativo. Oi oi mate. Long time no see. Welcome back as well. It's a pleasure to see you guys. Thank you for noticing that, Wanyong. Annyeong. Kamsahamnida. Kamsahamnida. Meanwhile, somewhere in the locks. Can we get a shout out for Mama Rage? You don't mind Geekonomicon. Much appreciated.
The scouts should have been back by now. I'm gonna go and find them.
I believe it's / shout out. Exclamation mark SO will not work. Thank you.
Thank goodness for that.
Has it really been 10 years? What? That's insane. Heck?
What the heck?
The timing of that follower. For Garlemald. Meow meow. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. Oh, frick. Not this person. Not Hyunjin from Stray Kids. I mean, what? Or, I don't know. He would be more like Felix, I think. Yeah. Not Felix from Stray Kids. Yeah.
The piles have been driven as planned, and the first of the beasts has roared to life. Moreover, I am pleased to report that preparations are well underway for the rest. Ere long, chaos shall reign over all the land, as befits the final days.
Honestly, anytime I look at Xenos, I'm really bothered by that huge pussy pimple. It looks like a big giant mole of pus. And I really want to pop it out. Probably has its own voice, like the chat bubble popping out of it.
Call it what you will, so long as my friend returns to me, fangs bared and claws sharpened. I care not.
Oh, unbothered are we, huh?
Of course, my lord. By strange coincidence, your dear friend chanced to be present when I made my declaration. I took the liberty of informing her that you await her coming, though I confess, I may have singed her a little in the process.
And why do you tell me this? Are you in such a hurry to die?
Ah, my apologies. I must guard my tongue lest it be the end of me.
Tee-hee.
Though, there is something to be said for such a glorious death. Better to fall to one who has it all than falter before an inferior. Huh. I shall keep it in mind as a contingency. For now, however, I shall proceed with the plan. My lord.
My lord, tips Fedora.
One worthy of our long-awaited reunion.
Our long-awaited reunion. Yeah. What? How? That's a... You got your blade from the dollar store? Really? Well then, So much for being a snazzy emperor. Wahoo! Onto the breach. Alizé is waiting patiently for the return of certain scions, not least of all you.
Good news, everyone! Good news, Valkyria. Thancred and Urianger have finished their tour of Garlemald and are on their way back here even as we speak. As we still haven't heard anything on the towers from the Alliance, I'm hoping they might be able to shed some light on things. They're due to arrive any moment now, so let's see what they have to say. Eh? I'm Canadian, eh? You, what would you like? A little sip of maple syrup? Play a little bit of hockey outside? Eh?
Ah, a welcoming party. You needn't have gone to the trouble. From what I hear, you've been more than busy enough as it is. Honestly, you might have waited for me to return before discovering a cure for tempering. As it is, I can't even pretend to have been involved.
Well, if it's any consolation, I myself was a little more than a spectator. The lion's share of the credit must go to Alizé Graha and Valkyria. But I believe I speak for the rest of us when I say we are proud to have rendered what little assistance we could. As you will also have heard, though, it hasn't all been tales of triumph. Just as we were taking a step towards finally addressing the primal threat, a pile of fresh problems landed in our lap. Anyway, it's good to have you back. Though I can't help noticing that we're one Urianger short of a scouting party. You haven't lost him, have you?
Oh, I couldn't lose him if I tried. And I did try. Repeatedly. But no, he decided to linger in Alamigo to apprise Roban and the others of how the land lies in Garlemald.
Then mayhap you would do the same for us.
Indeed. It was just as Lise said. Worse, in fact. Devastation as far as the eye could see. Nerva and the Earld, however, were notable by their absence.
Might they have met their end at the hands of Xenos and Fandaniel?
Perhaps. Perhaps they simply lost the will to fight. You see, the capital has been plunged into a deathly silence, with one exception, the Imperial Palace. It was a busy place before the war, but it has grown busier still, with throngs of soldiers and civilians working there day and night to rebuild, or rather, transform it.
Transform it? Into what?
That is a difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and unsettling to behold, like something from a nightmare. According to Urianger, certain aspects of its design were clearly devised with the manipulation of ether in mind. Magitech, in other words. Yet as unnerving as said edifice was, there was nothing next to the sight of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working with nary a word exchanged between them. No one overseeing construction, no one barking orders. It was as if they were possessed or tempered. We wanted to investigate more closely, but given our suspicions, it seemed wiser not to take the risk.
If Fandaniel could bind Bahamut to his will, might he have done the same to the people of Garlemald? Whatever the truth may be, this information is certain to prove valuable. You have our thanks.
Well, be sure to save some for Urianger, which reminds me, I have a message from Alamigo. Roban is hosting a meeting to discuss the latest findings on the towers, and he requested our presence.
Then why not leave that to us? You must be weary from your mission.
No, I'm fine. Those towers have been on my mind since I first spied one on the way back, and I'm keen to get to the bottom of this.
In that case, I shall stay and begin looking into another matter. As I promised Kryl, we need not all attend. Very well. I suggest the rest of us make our way to Alamigo forthwith. The sooner we leave, the more time we will...
Sorry, burp.
The sooner we leave, the more time we will have to speak with Urianger before the meeting.
Right. The meeting. Oh my. Right. Let me get my Lamborghini. Save the world on my Lambo. Ribbit. Where are all the bitches at? Hey, my dudes. What's cracking? My friends, much and more have I heard of your travails in our absence. Heartened am I to see you all hale and whole.
As are we to see you safely return from your mission, Urianger. I trust Thancred made you feel welcome. Well, well, if it isn't Alphinaud and his merry band.
Oh, this guy.
Arenvald, whatever are you doing here? When we spoke via Link Pearl, you told me you'd be away on a mission.
And who's to say this isn't part of it? But enough about that. It's good to see you looking so similar. I thought you'd have grown a bit taller after a whole year in another world, but apparently not.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. While my soul may be a year older, my body has hardly aged, as you are well aware. And may I remind you that we Elezen are known to be late bloomers, especially in terms of our height. Mark my words, the day will come when even a great Aurochs, such as myself, yourself, will crane your neck to meet my eye.
Aye. 'Twas not until my 20th summer that I myself outgrew my boyish proportions, though Moonbreeder towered over me nonetheless.
Arenvald brings out the best in Alphinaud, doesn't he? They both seem so at ease in each other's company. It's almost endearing.
Ribbit.
So, what exactly brings you here?
For Dola, mostly. We need to go over a few things before we set out.
Set out? Wait, does this have something to do with the towers?
What gave you that impression? Actually, tell me later. We've got a meeting to go to. I'll see you afterwards. All right.
Fordola is going with him. That must mean... My apologies. As Arenvald rightly pointed out, we have a meeting to attend. Let us be about it.
Ribbit. 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 Right.
Ere we begin, I would like to offer my gratitude to Masters Thancred and Urianger. 'Tis no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial capital and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
Full glad are we to have been of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
Theatrics. He sought only to make a show of the power at the Telophoroid's disposal. But since then we have seen no sign of this Fandaniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more of our enemy. 'Twas with this in mind that we dispatched scouts to investigate the towers.
Our advance party took longer than expected to return. And when they did, they tried to kill us. Luckily, I'd seen that sort of thing before, and we were able to restrain them before they did any harm. Then it was just a matter of letting the Porksies do their work.
Are you saying they were tempered?
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar, and that was the last thing they remembered. But what worries me most is what they were saying right before they attacked. Glory be to Garlemald.
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
Would that the unsettling news ended there. Alas, there is more. Following the earlier reports of missing Amalja, we have learnt that other beast tribes have suffered similar losses. And we now have reason to believe that the abductions are connected to the appearance of the towers. Our scouts sighted black-garbed figures leading shackled Ixal in the direction of the tower in Dravania. The Temple Knights were able to intercept them before they could reach their destination, liberating the Ixal and apprehending their captors, each of whom was found to be equipped with Garlean arms and armor.
So the Empire is the common thread.
With the support of Xenos, it seems likely that Fandaniel has rallied a faction of the splintered Garlean army to the banner of the Telophoroi.
Lord Hien reached the same conclusion when I shared our findings with Doma. The plan had been to march on Garlemald from the east and west in order to force a peace treaty. But the situation has changed. Dealing with the threat of the towers must come first. Given the nature of the enemy and the proven risk of tempering, I could think of few suitable candidates to aid in this task. But I am confident in my choice.
What?
Resistant to primal influence as they are, they can investigate the towers without fear of being turned.
We are glad to put our gifts to use, Commander.
Gifted or not, going behind enemy lines remains a perilous undertaking. But we must know more if we're to strike back at our foe. I'm counting on you.
If it would give us the upper hand, I'd do it 100 times over. We won't let you down.
That concludes the briefing. You two, make ready and join your escort.
Are you certain about this, Arenvold?
I am. Come on, let's talk outside.
Right. Now that it's out in the open, I don't have to keep it under my proverbial hat anymore.
So you know, I've already gone through all the formalities at the Rising Stones. Made sure to inform Jamoldvar and Vmar at Ralga's Reach as well.
Arenvold, I admire your enthusiasm, but this is far more dangerous than anything you have done before.
I know the risks. And I also know what's in store if we don't stop Fandaniel from carrying out his plan. With this power of mine, I can make a difference. If I stood idly by, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
And you, Fudola? Is this what you want?
What are you asking me for? It's not like I have any say in the matter.
Don't pretend. We both know Commander Eldin gave you a chance to refuse. And you did.
So the Empire's finished, is it? Well, that's what they're all saying. That the great and glorious Garlemald slit its own throat. And now, from out of its twitching carcass crawls the Telophoroi with bloody Xenos at its head! I fought for Garlemald. Killed for Garlemald. What was I a part of? I need to know. Whatever it is, I need to know.
Very well. If your hearts are set on this, I shall not stand in your way.
If you've finished with your touching display of camaraderie, I have a question. Which tower are you planning to investigate, exactly?
Well, the one in Girabani is said to be tightly guarded. It's patrol after patrol out there, apparently. We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near it. Which is why we've set our sights on the one in Pagalthan instead. There shouldn't be anything like as many Imperials to worry about down there.
Even so, I doubt the local Amalja will look kindly on it if they catch you sneaking around in their territory.
Fordola and I had a chance to learn the lie of the land in our previous forays there.
We might still find trouble, but at least we won't lose our way. Well, we'd best not keep them waiting any longer.
Mayhap when all of this is over, we could take another trip to Loxeld. I would have you know I've become a rather capable swimmer since our last visit.
Ha! I'll believe that when I see it. Though, to be fair, getting into deep water does seem to be a scion's lot in life. Take care, eh? It means a lot, you know. You coming with me.
I'll still owe you for saving my skin, don't I? Can't return the favour if I'm not there.
I dare say you'll get your chance before long. That Fandaniel sounds like a tricky customer. Too much for the likes of me, anyway. But we both know I'd just be another soldier if it weren't for my gift. And I need to be a damn sight more than that given what's coming. I realise I can't hold a candle to a hero like the Warrior of Light, or Alphino for that matter. He might look like he's 12, but he's seen more action than most people see in a lifetime. No, the fact is I'm nothing like them, and maybe I never will be. But I'll be damned if I don't try. They're counting on me. On us. So let's give it our all.
He does not want for conviction, that much is certain. So let us have faith in him. Him and Fordola both. While they see to the towers, I would attend to another task. Chasing down this lunar Bahamut.
Ah, bloody thing. Can you hear me? It's Tataru. I'm happy to say we've managed to find Estinian. And I'm sorry to say he went running off again the moment we told him about Bahamut. But he did mutter something about heading to Ishgard, so if you're quick, you might still be able to catch him.
Even if we set out this instant, he may already have left by the time we arrive. Have her send the Bonanza to Ishgard. It may prove useful should we need to give chase.
Gladly. I'll see to it as soon as Kryl and I get back to the Rising Stones. Good luck.
While you go off on your dragoon hunt, Urianger and I will return to headquarters. We have much to tell the others.
I wish you every success in your search for our elusive friend. May we all meet again ere long.
Hey, Itadamaru, welcome back. It's nice to see you again. How have you been? All right. Let's see. Okay. Alphanod is keen to track down Estinian.
So Estinian was bound for Ishgard. Whatever it is that brings him home, we must hope it will keep him there long enough for us to find him. Come, there is no time to lose.
All right.
All present? Good. Let us split up and search for Estinian. Since we're relatively new to this place, Graha and I will look around the open spaces, the squares and markets and whatnot. You and Valkyria can delve into the nooks and crannies. Very well. Let us reconvene at this airship landing later, with or without Estinian. Good luck. I think I shall begin at the Sky Steel Manufactory. Perhaps you could try the Congregation. Lucia may well have heard news of our friend's return.
The Congregation. Good evening to you, Warrior of Light. Lord Aymeric sent word that you would be attending the meeting in Alamigo. Though I gather you have not come in search of him. To what then do we owe the pleasure of your visit? I see. No. We were not aware Sir Estinian had returned to Ishgard, but as I expect you remember, he is wont to come and go as he pleases. Mayhap he came seeking an audience with Lord Aymeric, only to find him absent. In any event, I'm afraid I cannot help you. Perhaps one of your companions has fared better.
No sign of him. Not that I've ever met him before, but the way Alphino goes on about him, I'm fairly sure I could pick him out in a crowd.
Speaking of which, it does seem awfully quiet. If the erstwhile Azure Dragoon had returned to Ishgard, would it not be a source of general excitement?
First the Scion's Coinkeeper, and now you.
I'm beginning to think these meetings are more than mere coincidence. Not that I'm complaining. It's been too long.
Too long?
You look an ilm taller and twice as rugged. It suits you, Alphino. Quieter, though. Have you been giving him lessons on how to be the strong, silent type?
I am not Alphino! If the two of you are such firm friends, perhaps you should remember what he looks like. And what do you mean, rugged? Ugh! Had my brother mentioned what an oaf you are, I'd never have bothered looking for you in the first place.
Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. He who fought and felled the dread worm Nidhogg at the Warrior of Light's side. To think the day would come when I should see this living legend with my own eyes.
Would someone mind explaining what is going on?
Is everything all right? I thought I heard Alize shouting. Estinian! It's been too long. No, it's quite understandable. That was hardly the first time we've been confused for one another. Nor, I suspect, will it be the last.
Well, I, for one, will not be making that mistake again. What I will say, for the second time today, is that you've grown. Inside and out. I can tell.
One can't remain a spoiled little lordling forever, you know.
At least someone's having a good time. You know, when we were growing up, Alphino would never befriend other boys because he couldn't stand the thought of not being in charge. But maybe that's changed. He seems just as happy around Estinian as he does Arenvald.
What do I answer with?
Huh, good luck to them. It hasn't been easy being his sister, I can tell you that.
No rest for the righteous, eh? Speaking of which, I was just on my way to borrow an airship to take me to Azisla.
Azisla? How could I forget? The dragon with whom Bahamut shared the deepest of bonds.
Aye, Tiamat, his mate. Even now she remains imprisoned on Azisla, though her remorse binds her faster than any shackle.
I see. As the one who first summoned Bahamut, you believe she may be able to shine some light on his latest incarnation.
Might I suggest that we make the journey to Azisla together? I'm not sure if Tataru mentioned this, but we Scions have an airship of our own now.
I see no reason why not. Assuming your sister can bear the thought of sharing a deck with me.
Be my guest. But confuse me with Alphino again and I'll throw you overboard. I don't know who he thinks he is, but he's nothing like Alphino painted him to be.
I will admit, he is not exactly as I imagined him either. Based on what I had read of the man, I think I was expecting someone a little less blunt?
It has been quite some time since last I set foot in Azazlar, but I understand the three of you were here rather more recently. I don't suppose you chanced to meet with Tiamat during your visit? Alas, not. We had no cause to set foot here in the Delta Quadrant, but I have studied the relevant records, which is not to say I wouldn't appreciate a first-hand account of your dealings with her. Well then, Valkyria is the person to ask. As far as I know, she's the only one of us to have met Tiamat face to face. Ah, yes! You were a friend of her father. I too have met with Tiamat. After the Dragon Song War came to a close, I came here to speak with her, a worm who had fought her own war against man in another age. I wished to know if she yet harbored thoughts of vengeance, and asked as much. She said no. My hatred for your kind was extinguished long ago. But the guilt she feels for resurrecting Bahamut burns on undimmed. It torments her, even now. I see. Then your original reason for coming here was out of concern that Tiamat had been forced to summon Bahamut. Nidhogg is a part of me. I feel his emotions as my own. And I know that he would not assist his sister to be made a tool of evil. In his absence, it falls to me to watch over her. Righteous indignation. Justinian is ready to lead the way to Tiamat. Tiamat awaits. This way. Flying car time, baby. I'm Batman. Let me get on my flying Lambo. My sire's mortal companion, what bringeth thee back to this forsaken place, child of man?
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
Okay.
Perhaps we shall enlighten you, my beloved dragon. Yes. Okay. The icon claimed their souls when first he manifested, and robbed of their will, they became tools for the Alagons' dark designs.
Much like those held here in Asisla. If dragons who worship Bahamut are required to summon him, that must mean...
Much like those held in Asisla, if dragons who worship Bahamut are required to summon him, that must mean... Yes, the dragons of Mericidia are at the mercy of this Ascian. There can be no other explanation. Accursed Ascians, vile minions of darkness. Again, you would profane the memory of my beloved and strip our children of their freedom, their dignity. Are there no depths to which you will not stoop?
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering. But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished.
What wouldst thou have from me, Slayer of dragons?
Behavior befitting a great worm. We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Mericidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
Were I free, I would answer thine insolence with fire, but words shall have to suffice. Recall, mortals, that it was I who did first summon my beloved, praying with all my being to bring him forth. You who contend with icons cannot well be ignorant of the consequence.
You too were exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul. But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Indeed. Ask the Dragon Slayer, and he will tell thee the power we of the First Brood wield. Were I to lose myself to the Icon's influence, all would pay the price. But it is of little matter, for even had I had the strength to resist, I yet lack the strength to break my shackles. This prison shall be my tomb.
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance. If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
Speakest thou in earnest?
There is no future for those bound to the past. That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner, not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
A chance to make amends, to lay Bahamut's memory to rest. When our own star faced annihilation, Hydaelyn granted us sanctuary, and now your foes would bring about her destruction. This I cannot allow, for the debt I owe to Hydaelyn, and all who have suffered for my sins, I shall fight with you, children of man.
While Porxies have been shown to be effective in curing the tempered, Tiamat must be considered a special case. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Then, before going ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. Do you suppose we can find that information here? Why, yes, we can. We can indeed. The Alagans kept detailed records on all of their notable captives, and I know exactly where to look. We shall leave that to you then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of those shackles.
I know Alphinaud and Valkyria here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through?
Rest assured, Sarastinian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of this star. Though that is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too once found myself in a prison of despair, and I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. It took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take the first step towards a brighter future. And now, I would help Tiamat do the same.
I gather you are not as young as you look.
Mayhap what our work here is done. We could trade tales over a pot of Tataru's famous tea.
And be indebted to her for the leaves and hot water? I think not.
I see. Returning swiftly to the task at hand, then. I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraints are located in the sector known as the Flagship. Ah, yes, we are familiar with it. The Etherochemical Research Facility in particular. Oh, you may wish to take this. A spirit vessel containing a small amount of my blood.
Cat blood?
What? Which you just happen to be carrying around with you. I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Rambros Uriange and I are researching the use of spirit vessels and the transference not only of memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines. And so I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test our theories arise. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the nodes here granted access to restricted functions, having identified me as being of royal blood. And armed with that spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try, at least. Agreed. We will take good care of it. To the flagship, then. To the flagship.
Oh, my Lanta.
Metallic Frog, Slayer of Primals.
That's right. I am the last of his name. Froge the Third, riding the Batman car. Thank you for the 49-month resub. Well, Turtle. From Turtle to Froge, and Froge to Turtle, right back at you, my dude. And right back at you. Thank you for investing in the shit show for 49 months in a row. Bada bing, bada boom. Once a cream weaver, now a warrior of light. Yes. Slappity slap. My balls go whack. What a perfect little docking station for flying Batman cars. Fuck yeah. I shall walk over to Alpha Node. Inconspicuously. Ribbon.
Let us split up and search the flagship for the node that controls Tiamat's restraints. But should you find a likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments. It would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, no less Tiamat herself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is simply to identify the relevant node or nodes. Once we have learned what we can, we should reconvene and compare notes prior to proceeding. Yes. Let us go. Time.
Oh. Am I on the right highway? Hello, Alphanod. I'm kind of headed for the nearest McDonald's. Would you like to hop on over? No? You're more of an in and out kind of guy? Okay. Bye. Sure you don't want to... You don't... No? Mac? Okay.
I realized I've said this before, and on more than one occasion, but I never cease to be amazed by elegant technology. Amazed and disturbed.
Uh-huh. Sure. Oh, hello.
Data link with Delta Quadrant broken. Possible cause intruder interference. Advised deployment of automated combat units. Proceed.
Friction between metallic components detected. Temperature increasing to critical levels. Please replace damaged parts or retreat to a safe distance. Okay. The last one. Where could it be? Hello. These nodes, or whatever it is you call them, why do they quiver so? Shiver me timbers. Okay. Where's the last one? Where could he be? Oh, there it is. Warning, scheduled dragon restraint maintenance due in 2020 years. Failure to verify system integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release. Okay.
I'm afraid Estinian and I have little to show for our efforts. Did you find anything?
I did. A node which smelled like burnt hair. Yes, a chirping node which spontaneously warned me about neglecting the dragon restraints.
Spontaneously, you say? Well, that does sound promising. Almost suspiciously so, in fact. But then you were in possession of the spirit vessel. I dare say it is indeed the node of which Graha spoke. And it was chirruping, you say? Very well. Let us take a closer look. Let us take a closer look. Shite.
Do you wish to operate the dragon restraint mechanisms? Bloop, bloop, bloop. You do not have the requisite access privileges. Operation of the dragon restraint mechanisms may only be undertaken by the chief technologist and members of the royal family. Bloop, bloop.
Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps.
Oh. Right. Here. A chunk of Kool-Aid jammers. Beep. New user detected. Commencing biometric authentication. Bloop. Authentication complete. User identified as member of the royal family. Please state your name. Welcome, Valkyria Luthgard. You may operate the dragon restraint mechanisms when ready. Error. Unable to disengage restraints of the specimen Tiamat. A system update is required.
A system update? What do you suppose it is asking of us?
Smash it in pieces. Bonk its head. Now that I do understand, you can go first. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. Bloop. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. The issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within the flagship. So, can this thing release the restraints or not?
It can, but only once it has received the requisite system update, as far as I can tell.
Until which time it'll float there spewing nonsense. User dissatisfaction detected. Initiating placation protocols. Bloop. I am here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process.
How gratifying. But I dare say we will fare better with guidance than without it.
Ribbit. For vengeance. The restrainment node stands poised to lend a hand, figuratively speaking. Bloop. Guiding user to terminal. This way, please.
Let's see. According to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I ask which version you are employing?
Why, software version 42.002, of course. Warning. Errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update 5 years, 1 day.
That is rather longer than we were hoping. Aren't there any other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate Tiamat's restraints instead?
The proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update and my instructions may no longer be accurate.
Well, I can't imagine it will have changed all that much. As long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through.
Don't bother trying to explain. Just tell me if we've made any progress.
I would say so, yes. It does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via link pearl once I'm ready to release the shackles. It might be best if you left the spirit vessel with me. I may yet have use for it. Rest assured, I will be certain to return it to Grahatia once this is over.
Just a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there is something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Allagan Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tune of the Ascians. And it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Ascians touched turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times when you tried to reach out to them instead, to find common ground. And so, I must ask, what do you intend to do with Fandaniel? Will you try and reach out to him too? Certainly after I've wiped the smile off his face. I want to understand him. How? But did he not tell you that he was beyond reason? If he wishes to die, I say we oblige him. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence.
You think of us unwise for viewing the world thus?
Far from it. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited. And there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship, only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. So, save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, we should be getting back to our task. If Alphinaud has things in hand here, I suggest we rejoin the others. Okay. 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 Estinian told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphinaud's absence that he's needed elsewhere. Well, that all sounds rather frustrating, but you got hit there in the end. While you were off talking to nodes, I mean, Graha and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirm that her ethereal balance leans strongly towards the umbral, as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of ether with which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning, I'll need all the ether I can get. Thank you in advance. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic. Namely that Tiamat shows no sign of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made a difference? Now that you mention it, it very might well. She would have not believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk. It's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alphinaud to disengage the restraints. Tell Alphinaud to disengage the restraints' ethereal dampers. I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you, Angelo. Boink, boink. Ah, such warmth. The frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten? Of war with the men of Alag? Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her to recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. Valkyria, she trusts you. Speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. Ah, Bahamut, my beloved. Would that the peace we found in Mericidia could have lasted for eternity. But alas, it was not to be. The Ascians saw to that. In all creation, I know of none more wicked. It was at their behest that the men of Allag first came unto Mericidia, unto our home. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would come to be known as Mericidia by the children of men, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees. Surrounded by nature's bounty, Bahamut and I had found a place to raise our young.
Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Charlayan scholar Arusha. She posits that man first settled on the southern continent towards the end of the second astral era. Correctly, it would appear. If only she were here with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angelo.
When first the children of man arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Such was their fear of dragonkind. And as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing ever more of their brethren who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time, they knew peace and prosperity. But as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem. And soon they began to covet the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man. Blood was answered with blood, and none could see an end of the strife until one day they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. Alas, those golden days of harmony, too, were fated to end. For the men of Allag slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Ascians. The rest thou knowest only too well.
But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Ascians together. And you and your beloved will have justice.
Fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear, when this is over... Keep going, Alize. The magic is working. Well, I knew this wasn't going to be easy. No patient could have prepared me for treating a great worm. But we're close. I can feel it. And while I've only got a few more drops of ether left to give with yours and Graha's, this will work. Then I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Careful. I might hold you to that. All right, here I go.
No! I'm almost there! This is it, Angelo!
Yes, I feel it. The icon's grip groweth weak.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
Answer me this, children of man. Can my kindred be saved in like manner?
Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
My children. Should you hearken unto my call, we shall fly together once more. But should you not, I shall grant you peace. Better to die than live as a tool of evil. You too would wish this, I know, and I shall do as I must.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
Thou hast my gratitude, little one.
Alphino's ready. It's time. Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
Bahamut, my beloved. For vengeance and atonement, I rise.
By the gods!
Urianger, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way. It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan. He flies for the largest amount of settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
While I'm sure you're desperate to join Estinian and Tiamat in battle, it would be wiser to gather the full strength of the Scions first. The foe we face demands no less. Oh man. Oh shite. Ay. Quite a lot. The flames of war. With lunar Bahamut bound to Pagalthan, Grahatia is determined to call upon the aid of your fellow Scions. I have already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous in Uldar at the Hall of Flames. Let us collect Alphinaud and be on our way. Alphinaud. Yes. Indeed. Oh my. I can't believe it. Holy guacamole. Okay. Now, I know some of you could do with a rest, but I'm sorry to say the Teleferoi have other plans. Pagelthon is already under siege. Happily, the Immortal Flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort, with Marshal Tarupin at their head. Well now, given the failure of the peace negotiations, I was uncertain how the Sultanate would respond. 'Tis good to hear that Uldar has not abandoned the Amalja. Abandon them? Did we not profess to be their friends? Oh, hello. Your Grace! Marshal Tarupin had made provisions for such an exigency and was ready to depart at a moment's notice. All that was required was the agreement of the syndicate, each of whom voted in favor of intervention. Nor is Uldar alone in its resolve. The other alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Pagelthon. Yet even with our combined strength, we shall be sorely tested. For we face not only the might of an Imperial Legion, but Lunar Bahamut and his draconic horde besides. Tiamat's children. Fight as we may, victory is by no means assured, but not all of the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite their proximity to Lunar Bahamut, none of the Amalja show any signs of tempering. Strange. What primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls? Unless it is incapable of doing so. Primals are not wont to serve a master, Ascian or otherwise. It may well be that the Lunar Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner from those we have previously encountered. If that were true, anyone could fight him, and Valkyria and others like her wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Be that as it may, Lunar Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force to arms. With the aid of the Scions, however, I believe that they will fare rather better, assuming, that is, you're ready to take the field. An airship awaits to bear you to the front. Pray set forth as soon as you are able. I, meanwhile, shall continue to coordinate our forces. Till next we meet, may the 12 bless and keep you. It was kind of her to speak with us personally. You may be certain she has no shortage of other responsibilities. Well, I for one am inclined to do as her grace requests. Lest we forget, Erenvold and Fordola are in Pagelthon on reconnaissance. The sooner we save the day, the better their chances. Indeed, for the airship then. Man. Or my land. I forgot how much reading there is to do in this game. Oh my god. It's quite the challenge. Quite the challenge, I tell ye. Frick. The flames of war. Now what? With the flames of war. Where do we want to go? Where? Speak with the immortal flames pilot at the airship landing in Uldar. Yes, we shall. First, I gotta figure out how to get there. I believe it shall be from here. Otherwise... Actually, hold on. Hold the phone. Hustings. Oh, there it is. I guess it's not too far. Like the Moogle decorations. I'm not sure. Is this supposed to be some sort of an event? I'm not familiar with it otherwise. Kupo. Maybe, I wonder if it's tying into the lunar event. Something along those lines. Also, big fan of these snowmen. Kind of random. Derp. Oh my Lanta. The giant male aura maid. What the hell? What the hell? Got a bouquet gun, Sorts. Huh. Well. Oh, little snowman with a fan on it. Oh man, oh my god. Oh my god. This one's got an orange. Oh. What about this guy? Oh. Alright. I don't think I went the right way. Actually, did I? Unless it's somewhere. It's been a while since I played the game, so I don't remember where stuff is. Been a long time, brother. Been one hell of a long time. I'll tell ye. Oh, you can actually jump back down here. Look at that. Oh, my Lanta. Oh, yeah. I can't remember for the life of me. I can't remember for the life of me where the airship landing is. Work alright, bye. Gods dang it. Maybe I should take the etherite leading up to it. All right, guys, I think therefore I am. I think therefore I am. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. This is going to be it for today's stream because I am underslept. And I have been kind of, I'm not going to lie, I've been farting for the last 5 minutes and I kind of need to go to the bathroom as well. Sorry. Too much information. But I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, for a bit of a longer stream. I had a longer work day than usual, but I should be here earlier, given if I can get my workout in a reasonable amount of time out of the way after work. Thing is, our landlord also randomly wants to barge into each and every individual apartment in our building because they want to inspect the heaters. They're inspecting the heaters now, like a month and a half in the winter. Great stuff. But yeah, I think it might be relating to like a mouse problem that's in the building because there's been a mouse that has been sneaking into our apartment, at least I remember. I even shoved some paper towel underneath that one heater that the mouse popped out from. But I think that it might be correlated to that. Maybe, possibly. But enough about that. I'll try to be here tomorrow in the afternoon. Definitely look forward to another stream. But if you're new to the stream, if you are just watching this broadcast for the first time, why not hit the follow button? That way you're notified for whenever the stream goes live. And if you want to keep up with me on all of my socials, you can go to my Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. All at IcyVolk respectively. I usually put out a video reel letting you guys know whenever I'm live on Twitch, so you can't miss a stream. We also are on Discord, so if you would like to be connected a little bit further beyond the Twitch chat and you want to be pinged for when the stream goes live, you can hop on over to the Discord community server over at discord.gg/IcyVolk. And lastly, while you wait on the next stream to return, you're a fan of Overwatch, you like voice acting gigs, reels, you can take a look at my Overwatch 2 voice impressions linked just now in the chat for your entertainment pleasure, for your viewing convenience. You can click that link and it'll take you to the videos, all the characters that I've impersonated thus far. But that's going to be it for now, folks. I'm going to head out. Thank you so much for being here. It's been great. I really want to keep playing the game, but I'm also falling asleep. So I don't want to compromise on the quality. I don't want to compromise the quality of the stream with me half-assing it and forcing myself while being exhausted. So I got to go get some beauty rest. I'll see you on the next one. See you on the other side. Love you all. Mwah.